Hello. So good to meet you at our global motivational meeting. Billions of people, families, communities, countries, and the whole world. And we'll help you to just read these quotes and practice in your daily life. As we're reading this holy book from the beginning, please find all the chapters at our Message to Billion channel. And now let's see what God prepared for us today. Heresy. The most insidious cause of deviation from the religious path is the lure of false teaching or heresy. The scriptures of every major religion warns against it. Heresy means opinion, and the wisdom of God's revelation to the founding saints of the religion is not something to be altered or revised on the basis of someone else's opinion. It is true that every genuine religion at its birth was branded a heresy by the leaders of the Orthodox establishment. Yet, in addition, heretical offshoots of this new religion usually sprang up within a generation of the founder passing, or even in the founder's lifetime. Yet, by the will of God, the mainstream religions became established while the heresies that beset them did not. Nowhere do we find that a heresy ever defeated a major religion's line or orthodox development. Despite the theological attraction, there must be good reason why heresy were branded as such. A number of these passages gathered here attack false prophets and heretics for having base motive. They have hypocrisy using religion for worldly gain. Although Orthodox teachers could have the same flaw, some attributes these false teachings to the work of demons and evil spirits. Others point to their rotten frost, licentious living, greed, and the sowing of dissension. On the other hand, some heresies deceive through advocating a standard of conduct even more austere for a faith, even more extreme than what is called for in the correct path, Devadatta being a prime example. Still, other passages attack heretic for something schism and breaking down the unity of the faith. Be aware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruit. God's messenger is reported as saying, in the last time men will come forth who will fraudulently use religions for worldly ends and wear sheepskins in public to display meekness. Their tongue will be sweeter than sugar, but their hearts will be the hearts of the wolf. God will say, are they trying to deceive me, or are they acting presumably toward me? I swear by myself that I shall send trial upon those people which will leave the intelligent man among the confounded. There will be false teachers among you who will secretly bring indestructible heresies, even denying the master who brought them, bringing upon themselves swift destruction, and many will follow their licentiousness, and because of them the way of truth will be revealed, and in their greed they will exploit you with false words. From of all their condemnation has not been idle, and their destruction has not been asleep. In later times, some will depart from their faith by giving it to the sinful spirit and doctrines of demons, through the presentation of letters whose conscience are seared. Thus have we appointed unto every prophet and adversary devils of humankind and jinn, who inspire in one another plausible discourse through guile. Mara, the evil one, will expound to the Bodhisattva a counterfeit of the path. Even Satan distinguishes himself as an angel of light. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having inciting ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own lickings, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander into myths. Had falsehood been allowed to show separately from truth, seeking of truth will have easily discerned and would have kept away from falsehood. And had the truth been allowed to appear distinct from falsehood, people would not have found it easily to criticize religions. But unfortunately, man started mixing parts of truth with falsehood, and Satan exploited this situation and got complete control over the minds of its followers. Only such person can escape its trap who have advanced with the help of God towards sober and rational ways of meditation. Mara, the evil one, may come along in the guise of a teacher and say, give up what you have heard up unto now. What you have heard just now, that is not the word of the Buddha. It is poetry, the work of poets. But what I here teach to you, that is the teaching of the Buddha. That is the word of the Buddha. If one hearing that Bodhisattva waves and it's put out, then one should know that he has not been predicted by the Taggitara, that he is not fixing on full enlightenment, but among whose outflows are dried up does not go by someone else whom he puts his trust in, for he has placed the nature of karma directly before his own eyes. Then if anyone say to you, lo, he is the Christ, or there he is, do not believe it, for false Christ and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. Be not those who split up their religion and became schematics, each sect exalting in its tenets. I am astonished that you as so quickly deserting him who called you in the grace of Christ and turning to a different gospel. Not that there is another gospel, but there are some who trouble you and want to pervert the gospel of Christ. But even if we are on the angel from heaven should preach to you a gospel contrary to that which we preach to you, let him be accursed, as we have said before. So now I say again, if anyone is preaching to you a gospel contrary to what which you received, let him be accursed. One thing when it comes to past doesn't so to the loss, to the unhappiness of many folk, to the misery of the gods and humankind. What is it? The one thing is the other of monks. When the order is broken, there are mutual quarrels, mutual abuse, mutual exclusiveness, and mutual betrayals. Thereupon, those who are at variance are not reconciled, and between some of those who were at one, there arise some differences. Further, let's read quotes from the second Messiah, Father Simon Moon. Enemies will certainly appear on the path you travel. Enemies will appear challenging your faith and your finances. Furthermore, some members of the Unitarian Church will become each other's enemies. Silence will say the moment when you make a small mistake and drive you to the path of Cain. How should you lead your life to defeat these enemies and not stand in the position of Cain? Do not live for your own comfort, but live for a life of sacrifice for the sake of the whole. Some people, after they learn the divine principle, thought that in the Unitarian Church use it to advance their own interests. Such people are swindlers and thieves. They use the principle that I brought to build a comfortable domain for themselves inside the realm of Christianism. They steal the word, the divine principle, although it does not belong to them, but belong to heaven. Pretending as if it was their own teaching, they use it for their own purposes. They created devious group which use guide to snatch up followers whom they swindle with a counterfeit of the truth. Their bodies are like skeletons in the valley of dry bones. They appear to be alive, but their spirits are dead. Since a fallen person stands in the midway position between God and Satan and relates with both of them, the works of a good spirit may be accompanied by the subtle influence of an evil spirit. In the present era, spiritual phenomena are becoming ever more prevalent. Unless religious leaders can correctly distinguish the works of good spirits from the works of the evil spirit, they cannot properly instruct and guide those who experience spiritual phenomena. The last days is the time when people return to the spiritual level reached by the first human ancestors just prior to the fall. Today, being the last days, is the time when people throughout the world are reaching this level, just as Adam and Eve prior to the fall were able to converse directly with God. Today, many people on earth can communicate with the spirit world. The prophecy that in the last days I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and you sons and daughters shall prophesy, and you young men shall see visions, and you old men shall dream dreams, may be explained based on this insight from the principle. In the last days, many people will receive revelation. You are the Lord. Often these people will be misled into believing that they are the second coming of Christ. Why do they stray from the right path? Upon creating human beings, God gave them the mandate to rule over the universe. Yet, due to the fall, they have been unable to fulfill this blessing. When fallen people are spiritually restored through the providence of restoration to the top of the growth stage, they will reach the level of heart comparable to that of Adam and Eve just before their fall. God gives certain people who are at this stage the revelation that they are the Lord, in recognition that they have reached the level of maturity at which he had once blessed human beings with dominion over the universe. Believers in the last days whose devout faith entitled them to receive their revelation and that they are the Lord, stand in the position similar to John the Baptist. John the Baptist came with the mission to make straight the way of Jesus. In the same way, these people of faith are given the mission to prepare in their particular areas of responsibility the way of for Christ at the second advent. Since they are to act as the Lord's representative in their respective fields, God gives them the revelation that they are the Lord. When someone who is gifted with spiritual communication receives the revelation that he is the Lord, he should understand this phenomenon through the teaching of the principle. He should not act wrongly, mistaking himself for Christ at the second advent. Otherwise, he may end up playing the role of an antichrist. For this reason, the Bible contains prophecies that in the last days there will appear many antichrists. People who contribute to the providence of restoration usually are responsible for only a part of that providence. Focusing only on their vertical relation with God, they are often not sensitive to their proper horizontal relationship with the other spiritual attuned people. Strife can break out among them as each thinks that the will of God which he serves is different from that which the others are serving. Their conflicts are aggravated when each of them receives the revelation that he is the best. Yet God offers such encouragement to spur each on to do his very best in carrying out his particular mission within the greater providence. God also gives such revelation because each is in truth the one best suited for his respective area of mission. God did not create denominations or religion sects. In fact, the religion itself is a byproduct of the fall. It is Satan who fosters denominational schism and religious division. In heaven, there are no walls between nations, denominations, or religions. It is a world composed of one huge family under God. So powerful quotes. If you have difficulties, please watch one more time this video or share this video. As we end this video on Happy Life Subscribers Marathon, contact me for consultation, cooperation, and become a member of this Heavenly Parents Holy Community globally. The contacts are below. And stay happy, healthy. Turn on at the suggestion videos, our playlists, and listen these God's words all day. Be blessed all day. All the best. See you tomorrow with more powerful quotes. Yours, Coach Nikolai Serpal. Bye-bye.